January 1st, 1988. A federal office in Washington, D.C. A government analyst runs a routine payroll test on an aging mainframe. The system crashes. The date field reads only 2 digits, and the year, 88, has just become impossible math. Nobody in the room understands yet what they are looking at. It is the first documented sign of a flaw buried inside almost every computer on Earth. Programmers had been trimming years to 2 digits since the 1960s because memory was expensive and every byte cost money. Storing 1965 as 65 saved space on punch cards and magnetic tape. For decades, it worked. Nobody planned past the year 2000. Then, in the early 1990s, engineers doing routine system checks began to notice the same failure everywhere. If a computer read 00 as the year, it might calculate a negative age, or treat a newborn as 99 years old, or believe the year had rolled backward into 1900. Banks ran interest calculations against loans. Airlines scheduled flights years in advance. Power grids, hospitals, and missile systems all ran on code written decades earlier by programmers who never expected their work to still be running. By 1993, insurance companies began quietly auditing their own software. What they found alarmed them. Mainframes controlling pension payments, medical records, and utility billing all carried the same 2-digit flaw. The problem had a name by then, the Millennium Bug, or simply Y2K. Governments took notice. In 1996, the United States created a Y2K conversion office inside its own federal government. Britain, Japan, and dozens of other nations followed. Estimates of the cost to fix it climbed into the hundreds of billions of dollars. Companies hired armies of programmers. Some pulled out of retirement because they were among the only people left who still understood the old languages the systems ran on. COBOL, a coding language from 1959, became suddenly valuable again. By 1997, public fear had caught up with the technical warnings. News segments described planes falling from the sky, banks losing every record of every account, nuclear plants failing without warning. Survivalists stockpiled food and cash. Some families left cities for rural land, certain that January 1st, 2000 would bring collapse. Behind the panic, a quieter and far less dramatic effort was underway. Engineers combed through millions of lines of legacy code, line by line, testing and rewriting date fields across banking systems, air traffic control, and government databases. It was slow, expensive, unglamorous work, and it rarely made headlines. By late 1999, most major systems in wealthy nations had been checked, patched, or replaced. Still, nobody could say for certain what would happen the moment the clock turned over. On December 31st, 1999, at exactly midnight in each time zone, the world watched. New Zealand crossed first, then Australia, then Asia, then Europe. City by city, the new year arrived, and the lights stayed on. Planes kept flying. Banks opened the next morning with account balances intact. A handful of minor glitches surfaced. Some slot machines in Delaware briefly malfunctioned. A few websites displayed the date as 19,100, and one satellite ground station in Japan lost data for a few hours. Nothing close to the collapse that had been feared. In the years that followed, a debate began that has never fully settled. Was Y2K a genuine crisis, quietly diffused by years of unseen labor? Or was it a manufactured panic that made a fortune for consultants and vendors selling fear? The total global cost of Y2K remediation is estimated at over $300 billion, spent preparing for a disaster that, in the end, mostly did not arrive. What remains disputed is how much of that spending actually prevented failure, and how much of it fixed nothing at all. The programmers who did the work say the quiet outcome was the proof it worked. The skeptics say the quiet outcome was the proof it never needed to happen. No one can run the world again without the fix to find out.